Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay, got this question. This is an Ask Me Anything series where one of someone who's relatively younger than me asked me, so how does life change in your 40s? Okay, so given that I'm 46 years old, yeah, bloody hell. When I even say that, I'm like, 46? What the hell, man? I mean, I still feel like I'm in my yeah, yeah, not 20s, at least 30s. It's funny, right? When you say the number 46, sometimes, they say age is but a number. Yeah, okay, anyway, I'm 46. So, how has life changed for me in my 40s or when I enter my 40s? So, I wrote down a couple of points, 13 points. I'll say it out to you. And you can let me know if you relate to it. Or I'm pretty sure from the 40s onwards, this is very typical. Okay. The first one is difference between Loy in his 20s or early versus now. One is your definition of fun and pleasure changes. When I was young, let's say 30s or 20s, fun and pleasure would be girls, obviously, being a man, girls, showing off, friends, being loud, brash, just wanting attention. Hey, look at me, muscles, and this and that. So there's a certain definition that we say is friends and pleasure, nightclubs, going out to eat with a group of guys and all that. So that's fun and pleasure. But then when you're in your 40s, fun and pleasure changes to totally something else. Like today, if you ask me what is fun and pleasure, maybe it's a quiet dinner with my family. Maybe it's watching a quiet movie at home. Maybe it is, just reading a book. It's as simple as that. The concept of fun and pleasure changes as you grow older. Okay. So the second one, when you're young, you can procrastinate quite a lot. Let's say, for example, a very simple thing. You're walking in the house and you see something down on the ground. You see a tissue, you see a towel, you see wires dangling, you see some books kept out of place, you'll see some stuff in the kitchen, plates are not proper. You don't care. It's not clean. It's okay. In the toilet, you see the toothpaste one side, brush one side, this and that. You don't care. But as you grow older, these small things is like, oh, why is this out of place? Like toothpaste, no, it has to be kept properly. Toothbrush, all proper. I go outside, I see shoes out of place. I see, let's say, wires dangling. I'm not going to wait for anyone. I will do it by myself and fast. Like even if there's garbage to throw out, throw it now. And my wife sometimes wonder if we can throw it tomorrow. No, we do it now and finish it off. So you tend to be more proactive. All right, point number 3 is the concept of time. I mean, as you grow older, you tend to value time a lot more. Like today, if you ask me, um, for me, if there's a lot of money, but I also have to dedicate a lot of time, but if there's less money and I have more time in my hands, I would rather prefer the latter. Okay. It's not that money is not important. Money is equally important, but time is something you cannot replace. Like, for example, uh, when you're young, you're ready to not sleep the whole day, work 24/7. And, it's a work culture life where you can't have excuses there. But as you grow older, you value time a lot more. How much time do you spend for sleeping? How much time do you spend for studying? How much time do you spend with your family? You value all these small compartments, and for that you have to allocate time. So, the concept of time becomes so important. That is why many people I know who, even if they are offered a very big job position with a lot of money and all that, they will say no to it because they are not able to manage their time. Okay. Yes, energy and all that factor, headache, stress is also there, but time tends to be very, very important. Number 4 is, this is a given. I think almost everyone has it, money. You tend to value money, but not in terms of how much you earn and how much you spend, rather, how much you save. Because as you grow older, I think you begin to think of, what if I fall sick? What if this happens? What if that happens? And you tend to have responsibilities, family, and so many other priorities. So, money, the value that you give money is much more. It's not like crazy like when you're young. Oh, I'll go for an expensive holiday and I'll spend on this girl and that guy. You tend to value money a lot more. Point number 5 is, obviously, if you're following my channel, you'd know, the focus on health. When you're young, you focus on muscles, looking good, smart, sexy, whatever, no matter what the cost is. But as you grow older, it's less about showing off, oh, my muscles, and more about health. That is why you see so many marathon runners. Why marathon runners are typically older and slender and thin, and they don't look physically that attractive, but they have incredible stamina and incredible health. You see a bodybuilder, big muscles and toned body, six-pack abs, but health is a big question because obviously to look like that, they are taking a lot of steroids or supplements which can harm their health. So that is why you see someone who do yoga or someone who does long distance running or walking, they may not look like a Greek god, they may not look attractive, but they are more healthy, especially a guy who does yoga, than someone who actually does. And by yoga, I'm not saying the spiritual chants, om and all that. I'm talking of yoga as a physical exercise. Okay. So health is more important. Number 6 is you value friendships and relationships a lot more by being very careful who you choose to spend your time, money, and effort. You're very, very selective. That's why as you grow older, your friends circle grows smaller and smaller and smaller because you don't want to waste even an iota of your time that you could give yourself or your family to someone who's not worth it. And you tend to be very careful who are your friends. Number 7, you tend to stop focusing less about showing off. Yes, social media has kind of rekindled the, kind of given people the drive and desire to want to show off because, their life is just so ordinary and vanilla. So that's why they put photographs on Facebook, even LinkedIn nowadays. Oh, my child is this, oh, my this is that, because they want to show mine is bigger than yours kind of syndrome. But those who attain a certain degree of maturity and who have responsibilities, or they will focus less on showing off. Now, don't get me wrong here. It doesn't mean I'm so mature, you're not. But someone who is fulfilled inside doesn't find the need to show off. I'll give you a small example. There is this guy uh, on my Facebook. I mean, he literally shows off from the expensive hotels he's going. He shows off his wife, who's big breasts, everything surgery, and she's a Western expat, and living the dream, expensive car. For me, that's a total put off. I just switched off his any notification because it's so empty and shallow. I mean, and that also the guy I think is in his 50s. Why would you want to show off? Okay, expensive hotel. Like if you're showing an experience, fine. But when it comes to drinking and partying all night, the babes and this and that, and my expensive car, this is my new toy, and for me, it's a put off. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, it's okay to show off once a while. Like even I show off my progress that I did in terms of my exercise or losing weight. But when you start doing it for each and everything, and the girls I'm dating are hot, the car I'm driving is expensive, the lifestyle I live is better than yours, switch off. Number 8 is everything that you tend to do is calculated and purposeful. Simply put, even if I go out to eat food, I evaluate so many factors. Do I have a client call? Is it worth going out? How much money? How much time? Will the kids be, will the baby be happy? Will the wife be happy? We calculate all this, only then we tend to take action, others we don't. Um, Number 9, I think there is a certain degree of value that we give to being closer to nature and natural stuff. Okay. Technology and, the corporate world, sitting in the office, you yearn to be with nature. And I think that is something that comes across because that is who we naturally are. That's why I really value the long walks I go for sometimes. It helps me, just appreciate nature. And I'll tell you, the beauty of nature, going back to the village and all that, you can't describe it. It's something that you have to experience to know it. And that cannot be replaced with these fake ass cities and the fake life, which is technology driven. Point number 10 is you value me time, solitude, quiet time. I know quite a number of people who really love being quiet and alone. Like, for example, right now it's, 4:30, 4:50, whatever, 5 in the morning. It's quiet. My wife is sleeping, baby is sleeping, no noise, world is sleeping. I value this quiet time. It's very, very important. Point number 11, I think you spend a lot more time reflecting on yourself, on your life. And nowadays, I also notice many youngsters tend to do that. They reflect on their life, they reflect on who they are. And this is something you tend to do as you grow older. You really want to spend some time. Like even when I sometimes go for a walk or go to the gym or something, just think like, talk to yourself. You tend to do that a lot more. That's why maybe you see old people talking to themselves, because it's more of an inner reflection, and it's very important. Point number 12 is it's more about internal growth than external showing off. And I think the statement says it all. You want to, like, for example, right now, I have been fasting for 24 hours, no food. So, maybe nobody, now you know about this. Others, nobody knew about it. Well, why do I have to do it? I'm not doing it for any spiritual reasons. I'm doing it for health. So it's more internal. So this is something you tend to focus more on. And those people who show off on Instagram and this and that, it looks so shallow. And if you're doing it for business, I understand it's different. But remember, just like yoga, just as, studying or reading or whatever, it becomes more internal. And last, if not the least, point number 13, you want to improve the quality of your life and not the quantity of things. So whether it's, some people have the Japanese principle of minimalistic living, or some people have, having less friends, going out less, or, whatever that is. You want quality. That is why you might you'll see certain people spending more money on a technology. And don't mistake that with people who buy a new iPhone every year, but rather more money on things that will improve the quality of their life. Like, let's say, if you're a video production guy, and the latest equipment that comes out, it's very expensive, but it'll save you time, effort, and money, and improve your productivity. Why not? So, quality of life. So these are the 13 things that I kind of focus more on, let's say, as I grow older in my 40s. So I hope this gives you some insight of how life is after your 40s. What are the things that have changed? So good, bad, ugly, let me know. And if you want to ask me anything question, feel free. If I feel it's worth answering, I'll definitely make a video. So let me know your thoughts. This is me signing off. Ciao.